All right, we're here with Mr. Scotty from New York. Not New York City, though.
No,
New York.
God, no.
Yeah. And he is going to show us his method of skinning a beaver.
Which is a modified case. So you're just going to start out just like you normally do. We're going to cut off the 4 feet. Two.
So for those that may be newer to it, when he says case, he means he's not splitting it down the middle like you typically would.
I'm not going to split it open. I'm not going to cut it from chin to butt. Not till after it's fleshed. Then I will do that. And there's a couple reasons I skin this way. One is I didn't start beaver trapping until a little bit later. And I'd skinned a whole bunch of raccoons and foxes and muskrats and everything else. And I was comfortable casing. And I just found skinning open weird. And I had some problems with that. I mean, I can do it, but I'm going to point out some reasons as we go through here why I keep doing it the way why I do it this way. Now, I'm not going to cut the tail all the way off. I'm just going to cut around it. It's important to leave that tail on.
So he's basically going to score it just through the skin.
Just through the skin. Okay. And then now I am going to cut up like you normally skin a beaver, but I'm going to stop right about here, right at the belly button. So I'm only going to open it up from here to here, and the rest of this is going to stay closed.
So when you say belly button, you mean right there where the pelvic is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just top of the hips.
There you go.
So I'm running that knife underneath the skin and then lifting up. If you try and cut down through, you're going to dull your knife. You don't want to cut hair. And now I'm going to start kind of peeling that back a little bit, like
going around the casters and
just like
the
normal.
wool sacks.
Get that started a little bit. On the other side of the vent. And then I'm going to, I'm using a long, thin knife. And I'm going to cut in from the legs.
It's basically ringing the legs.
At least, I used to ring the whole thing. You don't need to. Just ring just on the belly side. And then I'm going to work through and connect that. So I can get that bone through.
Okay. So you've already got the leg bone through. But it's all still in one piece.
All still, yeah. So yeah, we're skinning kind of like we skin a normal beaver. But just the bottom end here. This other. What we got? I know I poked that knife through there. There it is. And then start this down that leg just a little bit, just get that freed up. Same on this side.
Just give yourself some starting room.
Okay. And then it's at this point, you know, I got those casters and oil sacks exposed. That's when I'm going to remove them. I'm going to skip that for now. You can do it later. But if you're doing this method is great for if you want to eat this beaver, because if you're doing it in a trough or on a table and it's rolling around in the dirt and the mud and the gore,
everything else,
and,
yeah,
you know, that's not exactly sanitary, at least not in my fur shed. But at this point, we're going to hang this beaver and skin it like a raccoon, and that'll keep everything nice and clean. So I'm just using a gambrel.
it's a small game gambrel, yeah.
You know, you just need a hook. You need something something strong with a hook, and that's going to hook right in the base of the tail. That's why we leave the tail on, and it's amazing how strong that is. That you can,
it's leather.
You can use a lot of force, and that is not going to tear through. So at this point, we're going to go over to the.
So as you can tell, it's been busy today.
So we're going to raise this up a little bit. And now I'm going to kind of start skinning it just like it's a raccoon.
You know, the nice part about that is, like you were saying, that's a lot of people got their start on skinning was raccoons and stuff.
Right. And one of the big advantages here is just the weight of the hide helps skinning. If you're skinning flat, you're not using that weight to your advantage.
Hey, Casey, tell Rocky we're going to let him do one next.
Okay, once I'm down to get those hind legs fully free, now we're really going to start cooking here. You know, free up that. The thing you got to be really a little careful of is don't puncture that intestinal wall on the belly.
Because on beaver, once they start coming out, it's a mess.
It's just a mess. So you can see it's starting to speed up as I'm going down through here, but I'm going to have it go even faster. Yeah, getting that down on the sides. And you can use another gambrel. I made this one a little bit wider, and this is going to go in those hind leg holes. So it's going through right there on that side, and on this side here, and I got it affixed to the ground here. So now I can use this winch and almost pull this like a raccoon. Now, every beaver's different. Some of them will pull pretty easy. Others, not so much.
It's like to keep their hide.
So, yeah. And the fatter the beaver is, the better this works.
This beaver's pretty lean.
This beaver's pretty lean, and
but that tension helps you know where to cut, and it helps keep it just coming loose.
We're gonna, especially on the back here, just watch. You can see the tension. And this one, I think this one's actually gonna pull a little bit. Sometimes you need to help that hide over the head. There we go. Yep, there we go. Okay, this one's exceptional. Normally it won't pull that much.
And so this is a winch mounted basically on a bar that comes out and drops straight down. And then we've got the, where you can put the gambrel on there. And then on the base of it, we've got if you're skinning a coyote or something, you've got the the vice grips there that have been modified to hold it, and that's what he's using to hold it to the ground.
So notice I didn't just hit the winch and just, I was a little bit at a time. We'll give it time to pull.
Yeah, you don't muscle on it because that's how you tear stuff up.
And with experience, I can just tell by the strain on the winch how, if I'm pulling too hard or if I can go more, just by listening to that. And also, you know, washing the hide and seeing how that's coming along. And this is a younger beaver. I can get through those armpits there pretty quick. There we go. Front leg free. Second front leg free. Now we're going to skin down to the ear. Just zoom right over it. Same on the other side. There goes that ear.
Like you said, and that weight and everything's coming straight down.
That even without the winch, that's helping.
Yeah.
If you don't have a winch, you can also just have a rope with a loop in it and use your weight.
So use
put
your foot,
in
step on it.
And that'll help give you tension too. At this point, once I'm past the ears, I take my good knife, which is, I keep super sharp, and I put this down. And I will take another knife that I don't care about and rough sharpen, that I can cut up against bone. And if it starts getting higher than your head, you just reattach it to something lower. I have at my home shop, I have a chain with an S-hook in it. I can adjust. And now we're right at the eyes.
You just want to be careful to stay to your eyelids there and your bones, so that way you don't big eye them.
And I got nervous doing this video. One thing I will do before I hang it up is I will take my knife and I will have the beaver on his back, and I'm going to run that knife inside the mouth and around the lower jaw.
Really?
And that saves a lot of knife contact on the head. And all that I'm dealing with is this side of the skull.
Yeah.
I don't worry about the bottom at all because that's already freed up. See here, right now I got to work on that bottom lip. And I'm running it up against teeth and bone, and up through the nose.
There you go. All right, so now he has this case-skinned beaver. And this is the really neat part of why this is an advantage.
So when you put it on the board, hey Michael, it's just like fleshing a raccoon. You don't have with that. If you have this split all the way up the belly, you're futzing with this thing.
You're having to try to lay against it and everything else.
It's falling around, and as you're scraping it, you're rolling fat onto the fur. And the only part that you're going to get fat on the fur is just this little opening here, this little bottom quarter of the pelt. The rest of it's going to come out all nice and fluffy with no grease.
It's pretty neat. So
and plus, you know, with beaver, there's a bunch of different spots. You know, there's a tough grizzly section right here between the ear and the front leg.
Back by the tail.
The back is a lot more meat. The belly is just loose fat.
But no matter what you got going on,
I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm not you know, I know exactly what part of the pelt I'm working on, and it all stays right here, right tight, right in front of me. And then after it's all fleshed, then you stretch it out like this, and you can see that line?
You know exactly what you're
You
doing.
can see the line right down the dead center of the belly, and then you just take a knife and you just go zip, and then you can go onto the board.
That's super awesome. I really appreciate it, Scotty. Thank you
Sure.
for sharing.
You got it.